When police in Phoenix arrested a man that they said went on a 13-month crime spree, the public breathed a sigh of relief, believing that the so-called baseline killer, named for the highway where so many of the killings took place, was now off the streets. But now, as the baseline killer trial gets underway, the wife of the man on trial, Mark Godot, is speaking out about why she says the police have the wrong man.
Our life together was perfect. If there is a such thing as perfect, that was our life. It was idyllic.
Just who is Mark Godot? His wife says he's literally the nicest man she knows. But authorities claim behind this smiling face is the heart of a murderer. They maintain Godot is really this man, known as the baseline killer. For months, the Phoenix serial killer was known only by this police sketch as he carried out unspeakable crimes.
It could be the guy next door to you. It could be anybody.
The crime spree started in August of 2005. Over the course of a year, the killer is believed to have committed 9 murders and a string of rapes, robberies, and violent assaults. By last summer, the city was in a full-blown panic with self-defense classes like this one. Gun sales were up and home security systems were selling out.
For breaking news coverage.
An arrest this morning in connection with the baseline killer case.
But then, September 6th, police arrested Godot, convinced they had their man. Prosecutors claim DNA evidence links him to one of the sexual assaults. Godot does have a violent past. He served 13 years for assault and armed robbery. But Wendy Carr says her husband was arrested simply because he fit the profile.
He's black. He lives in the area. Many of the crimes happened near here, and he was on parole. That's an easy target. That's all they needed.
So who is the real Mark Godot? A jury will have to figure that out.
I'm not even a betting woman, but I'd stake my life on it that Mark is innocent.
And joining us now to talk about her crusade to clear her husband's name is Mark Godot's wife, Wendy Carr. Good morning, Wendy.
Good morning.
We want to just start off by saying we did contact the Phoenix police on multiple occasions, also the prosecutor's office, and they did not want to comment on this because it's an ongoing trial. The husband of one of the women who was killed says when they took your husband in, he said they have the killer, the monster is off the street. He said it's an exciting day. The friend of another victim said that your husband should rot in hell. What do you say to those folks?
I would say these are people who are being manipulated by the police. The police have manipulated the media. They've said horrible things about Mark. They basically tried and convicted him on the streets of public opinion, and people want to believe that they have the right guy.
And you think they absolutely do not have the right guy?
Absolutely do not have the right guy.
How do you know?
Mark and I have been together 20 years. We have a great relationship, a marriage that people envy, best friends. And having said that, I can't look back over that 13-month period, and I don't see anything odd. I don't see anything out of place. I don't see weird mood swings. I don't see someone missing work. I don't see odd behavior. I don't see anything, nothing.
People will say, I'm sure some of the folks watching will say, you're the wife, you love this man. It's
right.
Easy for you to be blinded to not see what might be in front of you.
Right. Well, some people have tried to compare me to BTK killer's wife or the Green River wife, and
the wife of some of the other famous serial killers who
yes.
didn't believe that their husbands had done anything.
Right. And I can't speak for those women. I don't know what their relationship was like. I don't know them. And I won't, people don't know me, and they don't know Mark. If they did, then they would be supporting us.
Your portrait of him is a caring, gentle
right.
man. You said he used to clean the house before you would come home because he cared about that for you.
He did.
But he was in jail. In fact, when you married him, he was in jail.
Right. We had lived together 3 years prior to that, but yes.
And he did plead guilty to, as we said, to an assault charge.
Well, that's not entirely correct. He pled no contest, which is, in our mind, was different than a guilty plea.
Is it possible that he has another side that you don't know?
No, no. Mark was incarcerated. That's been for a long time, but he still had choices to make. And he worked full-time, practically the entire time he was incarcerated. He took any programs that were available. We maintained our marriage. We kept our regular visits. And I have to say, he came out a better person.
The case that's coming up first, there are many charges against him, but the one that will come up first is due to come up, I think, later this month, right?
Right.
Which is about two sisters in a Phoenix park in September of 2005. Now, the
Right.
prosecution, as we said, they say that they've got DNA evidence. How can you refute that?
That's more manipulation of the media. That is not Mark's DNA, and that'll come out in the trial. It's not his DNA.
You don't believe the science? You don't believe that the test was done accurately?
I don't believe in junk science. It's not his DNA.
The prosecution says that there's more DNA left that could be tested. Would that, I mean, could that happen, and then that would back you up? That would clear him?
Oh, if there was DNA left?
If there were more DNA, they say there's enough that another test could be run.
Well, as far as this trial that's coming up, there is no DNA evidence. That's been completely destroyed by the police. So, yeah, I think if there was some raw DNA evidence, yeah, I think it would exonerate him.
You have a website that you've put together. Tell me
Yes.
about that. You want people to hear your side of the story, and clearly you've put up some photos
Right.
of him that are not the mugshot, that are not
Right.
him, you know, the perp walk, him
Right.
walking to
Right.
jail.
Well, when Mark was arrested, they had a huge dog and pony show on TV and said, yeah, we got this monster, we got this guy off the streets. You know, they'd said things on the streets that they can't utter in court, and they knew that. And they did the best they could to prejudice the public against my husband. I created that website because I'm really trying to restore Mark's constitutional rights to a fair trial that the mayor, the police, and the county attorney took away from him. So I figured, you know, here's the media. Let me show people what the real Mark Goudeau, who he is. He's a regular person. You're right, and I was sick of the mugshot going across constantly on TV. So I wanted to show who Mark really is.
You are a woman on a mission. That much is clear. Wendy,
That's right.
Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you very much.